Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Steve, and today we're talking about the Tissot PRX Powermatic 80, this time in emerald green. Now, I've owned a PRX since its initial release. I started off with the blue quartz version, then on to the blue Powermatic 80 version, bought the PVD gold version, and now this emerald green version, Powermatic 80. Since this is the last PRX I'm going to buy, I wanted to check out different strap options available. I know it's an integrated bracelet, but I wanted to see what options were out there. So I went to Tissot's website, I looked at their leather and rubber straps they offered, didn't really like them, and then I stumbled upon Delugs. They had two different offerings. They had the traditional buckle, and then they had this leaf spring deployant that really caught my eye. I reached out and I said, hey, would you be willing to send over a strap for review? And they did. Here it is on the PRX itself, and I am absolutely loving it on this strap. But before we get started with the review, please hit that like button down below and that subscribe button. It really does help me out. All right, let's roll that intro and get started. So let's start off with a 2-year review of the PRX, and we'll start with the dimensions. We have a case diameter of 40 millimeters, a case lug to lug of 44.5 millimeters, but with that bracelet is effectively 51.5 millimeters, a thickness of 11.1 millimeters, and a weight of 135 grams size to my wrist. Does come with a sapphire crystal, 100 meters of water resistance, which is just enough water resistance for an everyday sports watch. The case itself features vertical brushing on the top, horizontal brushing on the sides, a polished beveled edge, polished bezel, a slightly undersized crown, and an exhibition case back on the rear. It also comes with quick release spring bars, which, by the way, in my initial review of the PRX, I called and said they were going to add strap options later on because of those quick release spring bars, and they did. This emerald green dial features the waffle pattern that's on the Powermatic 80 versions with that border date window at the 3 o'clock. Tissot 1853 at the top, PRX Powermatic 80 at the bottom, and then Swiss-made bordering the 6 o'clock indice. The hands and indices are sharply cut and offer just the right amount of polishing to give it that extra bit of pop. But the best part about this watch isn't the case, it isn't the dial, it is the integrated bracelet. The bracelet itself is vertically brushed and it offers polishing in between the links. The mix of polishing and brushing here really accentuates the links themselves. Even though they're just one piece of metal on the link, it actually looks multidimensional. This watch does have a butterfly clasp, but also has half links, so you should find a decent fit overall. In my opinion, you would want to wear this watch a little bit looser. That way, if your wrist does swell, you have room for it. Moving on to the case back, it is a mineral crystal, which it's fine. It's not going to scratch on your wrist because your skin is not sharp. So mineral crystal is just fine here. It does show the Powermatic 80 movement. Now, I've heard complaints about the Powermatic 80 movement, and I believe it's the plastic escapement that people don't really like. Now, I personally haven't had any negative experience with the Powermatic 80 movement, and the few other people that I talked to who also own Powermatic 80 movements haven't had an issue with them. So time will tell. I'm assuming that it's going to be fine, and if you have it under warranty, if something does happen, you can send it back to Tissot and they will replace it. But 10, 20 years from now, I'm not expecting to have this watch. It's probably going to be out of my collection well before it would break anyways, so it's not really a concern to me. Now, the biggest concern I have is actually operating the movement through that tiny crown. If they bumped it up by a couple of millimeters, it would actually work wonders. It would be much easier to operate. With these big mitts right here, it's actually kind of a chore, and I would rather just leave this watch on a winder. That way I don't have to deal with it. And that's actually one reason why I like the quartz model, is that I don't have to operate the crown nearly as much. So let's move on over to the Delugs FKM CTS strap. Now, CTS means cut to size. You're going to actually have two pieces of rubber strap that are identical and a deployant leaf spring butterfly clasp. On the back of these rubber straps, you're going to see these perforated sections where you're going to actually cut those links out. So basically, you're going to remove the stock bracelet and install these rubber straps. And then you're going to guesstimate on the amount of links you're going to remove, install the butterfly clasp, see how it fits, and then remove one link from one side, one link from the other until you get that right fit for you. And if you can't find that perfect fit by just removing those rubber links themselves, the clasp does come with one level of micro adjustment, so you should be able to find that right combination of links and micro adjustment settings. Now, the thing that drew me to this rubber strap and what's interesting about this clasp design is that it's actually a leaf spring clasp. So as you're pulling open the clasp, it is going to reach a point where it just snaps open. Same thing when you're closing it, you're going to find that spot where it's just going to snap shut. I haven't had an issue with this randomly opening up, and I don't think it's actually physically possible for it to do so. It is made out of 316L stainless steel. It's a highly ductile material. It's not going to lose its springiness or its bounciness. It's not going to just break randomly. It seems like it's built very well and realistically should last you a lifetime. It's just so satisfying. You just snap it open. The finishing of the clasp is going to be identical to the case with vertical brushing on top and polished bevels. The actual FKM rubber being used in this strap is very supple, very nice. It conforms to the wrist. It's soft. The only thing it's missing is just that vanilla scent, which, I don't know. I'm a sucker for vanilla scent. What can I say? Another pro is that they included quick release spring bars. So if you're tired of this and you want to switch back to the metal, boom, you can do it. You get tired of the metal, you want to switch back to the rubber, boom. It's just effortlessly changing. It's great that they included the quick release spring bars here. So what do I think about the PRX after a couple of years of ownership? Well, if you can deal with that undersized crown and the lackluster lume, you've got yourself a perfect sports watch. I think for the price, you're not going to find a better built watch. And now there's just so many options of PRX available. You have the traditional 40 millimeters and you have the smaller 35 millimeters, Powermatic 80 versions, quartz versions, chronographs, 3 hands. You have just a plethora of options out there. If you like the look of the PRX, but you've heard it's just too big on the wrist, take a look at the 35 millimeter options. They have Powermatic 80 versions available in those sizes as well. And value-wise, this is going to be one of the best bang for buck watches that you can buy ever. It just doesn't matter. $10,000, $1,000, this is one of the best bang for buck watches on the market today. And now with this Delugs CTS rubber strap, I have an alternative to the bracelet. And yes, I enjoy the bracelet. I love the bracelet. It's actually the reason I bought this watch was that bracelet. But I have something else I can wear it to. If I want to switch it up a little bit, I can. Now this watch is going to have a little bit longer longevity in my collection, and I'm going to probably wear it more often because of this rubber strap. It just gives it a more sportier, casual look to the PRX. So thank you to Delugs for sending me in the strap. If you guys are interested, I will post a link to their website down below. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about the PRX, especially now on this rubber strap? Do you guys like it more than the bracelet, less than the bracelet? Do you guys like the PRX in general? Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel. I'm going to go ahead and pop up a couple of these videos. So watch one of them or both of them. Subscribe. Watch. Do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it now. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.